Hello viewers, welcome to our channel, and I want to start by submitting to you that President William Samoei Ruto thought that he could easily finish opposition by simply buying the loyalty of the members who are allied to the Azimio One Kenya Alliance. He did this by acquiring the support of the MPs from the northeastern Kenya, the UDM party members. And recently, you saw the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, ruling in favor of the Kenya Kwanza, and he affirmed that Kenya Kwanza has got more members of parliament than the Azimio One Kenya Alliance. And this was all done in a bid to ensure that perhaps the opposition is going to be intimidated. But sooner than soonest, Dr. William Ruto will realize that Engineer Raila Amolo Odinga is not someone you simply annihilate politically by buying, his political members of parliament. Because Raila Amolo Odinga has got the support base of wananchi. In the recently contested elections, the IEBC result reveals that William Ruto and Raila Odinga divided the votes cast almost equally. William Ruto had, I think, 7 million, and Raila, I think, almost 7 million. And so William Ruto has inherited a nation that is divided almost into half. We saw Raila Amolo Odinga jetting back into the streets of Nairobi in what he termed as a Meet the People tour.
Ati bei ya unga itatoka 200 itarudi 70. Imerudi chini. Imerudi chini. Bei ya mafuta imerudi chini. Simepanda juu. Nauli ya matatu imerudi chini. Imepanda juu. Leo pale nimempata bodaboda mali pale. Akaniambia mimi ya kwamba kila siku yeye anapata shilingi 700. Petroli inagharimu shilingi 500. Anabaki ni 200 peke yake. Bei ya unga mfuko moja ni 200 na kitu, sio? Sio. Hajanunua hata mboga. Hajanunua hata mboga. Hajalipa. Nikaenda chini. Nimekaa huko chini. Nikakaa, lakini sasa nimeona kama watu yangu wanaumia. Ndio nikasema hapana, siwezi kukaa kule chini kwa giza kwa muda hii mrefu zaidi. Nikasema wacha nitembee kidogo, nione hao watu ana kwa ana, niulize maswali, nijue vile wanahisi. Sawa sawa, sema baba iko. Si baba iko.
And he was saying that he wanted to know the status of the economy. He's taken a break for some time, but now he was back. Many people are wondering, why is Raila Amolo Odinga coming back to active politics? Because William Ruto had promised in his campaigns that he was going to cast Raila Amolo Odinga in a wheelbarrow and send him back to Bondo. But it seems that that task is more difficult than William Ruto thought. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want us to try and understand reasons why Raila Amolo Odinga is coming back into active politics, even when others thought that he is now dumped into political limbo. But before we do this, in case you are watching our videos for the very first time, I want to kindly request you to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that YouTube will always be notifying you whenever we do another video like this. To the subscribers, please give this video a thumbs up, because the more it gets thumbs up, the more YouTube will recommend it to many viewers. Now, without much ado, I want us to go straight into reasons why I believe Raila Amolo Odinga is not leaving politics any soon. He is back. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, just like Raila did with the IEBC, just like he did in the last elections with the BBI and then Azimio Meet the People tour, Raila Amolo Odinga is going to craft this idea It always starts like something that is trivial, and very soon you will see it bigger. When he meets people, he will be planning an itinerary to go to Northeastern, to Nairobi, to Western, to Nyanza, and he's going to organize forums where he will be meeting people, and people will be giving an evaluation of Ruto's government, mostly based on the economic status. Has he reduced the price of unga? What about the price of milk? The basic commodities. And he's going to make sure that he keeps this government very busy until 2027. So the number one reason why I believe Raila Amolo Odinga came back into active politics is that he wants to check this government. In the previous administration, Raila Amolo Odinga had a handshake with the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And this tied his hands. He could not criticize the very government that he was supporting. And this gave our president, William Ruto, an undue advantage because William Ruto went out there and told Kenyans that Raila Odinga had usurped his powers. He actually alluded to allegation that Raila was the deputy president. He was the advisor of the of Uhuru Kenyatta, and he said that Raila, in cahoot with Uhuru Kenyatta, dilapidated this economy and they ran it down completely.
Mmesikia rais akisema ati huyu mtu amekuwa akimshauri. Sasa alikuwa anamshauri aongeze bei ya unga. Na ndio mimi nataka niwaeleze ndugu zangu, tusicheze karata na maisha yetu. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Tuko pamoja. Matatizo ya hawa majamaa ni kwamba hawajawahi kulala njaa hata siku moja. Hawaelewi ati kulala njaa ni nini. Si Raila amekuwa akiendesha serikali na Uhuru Kenyatta. Si walisema mimi sina maana. Saa hii si mambo imeharibika.
Wakati wale watu wa handshake wamefukuza William Ruto kwa serikali, wakashikana mikono, mambo yote ndio imeharibika Kenya hii. Tunavyoongea sasa hivi, bei ya sukari iko juu, bei ya mafuta ya kupika iko juu.
Msifikiri ya kwamba hizi vitu zimepanda tu kwa bahati mbaya. Ni maksudi. Hawa jamaa wamepanga kwa sababu wanatengeneza pesa. Ni maksudi, wameharibu serikali, wakaharibu mipango kwa sababu ya mambo ya handshake na BBI, ndio unateseka hapa hivi leo.
So Raila Odinga now is free. He's not in the handshake, he's not in government. And so he wants to prove to Kenyans that it was not he who, contributed to the very worst status of the economy. And so he wants to keep this government in check. He will be looking at loopholes where the government is not doing the right thing. Raila Odinga will be there to criticize and to make the government come back to the line. And remember, William Ruto had promised that he was going to correct all the mess that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga did in the second term of the administration. And Raila Odinga, I think, is still not very happy because he still believes that his elections were stolen. So the only thing he can do now is to make sure that he keeps this government into check so that people realize that William Ruto was only giving pledges that are now becoming very elusive. Because as it stands, the other day I saw Gladys Shulei, Boss Shulei, telling Kenyans that they should not expect any major changes in 100 days. They actually requested for a year or so. Our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua also said that they have inherited a very bad status of economy, and so Kenyans should be patient with them. And the Hustler Nation is very patient, but I want to believe it is only for a while. Grace period will not go for long. I also want to believe that Raila Odinga is coming back into active politics because he wants to protect some of his supporters, not supporters who voted for him, but those who risked their jobs and their lives. Take, for example, the group of Cherera, the 4 commissioners who disintegrated and went to Serena to oppose results. When Chebukati announced the results, they rejected. And recently, you saw that Marjan and Chebukati had reprimanded assistant CEO. Raila knows very well that there are a group of policemen who took sides. You remember Matiang'i took sides even though he has gone. I think he got a job in the UN. He's now in the US. Mutiambai. We have several junior officers. We have even civil servants, the chiefs, the administrative, the commissioners, the very many people who took, who decided to support Raila. If Raila is sent into political oblivion, then it means that the fate of all the public officers who came out and blatantly supported him. Those who opposed William Ruto, they will be in danger of being reprimanded, of being mistreated. Some of them will lose their jobs. So Raila has to come out very clearly. You know, when he is active in politics and he rallies about 7 million people behind him, and they give a warning to anybody who wants to intimidate those state officers who supported him, then you know the state officers are safe. Raila Odinga is a believer in the sanctity of the constitution. Raila has been detained for trying to expand the Kenyan democratic space. Under the Nyayo era, he was detained, and I think a total 9 years. And he understands very well that we can never keep quiet. Raila does not believe in giving up. And if any administration, especially an administration such as this of Dr. William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, is left hands-free without any proper criticism, without any proper measure, then I'm telling you they can mutilate our constitution. Even the state offices can be used to, to mutilate the constitution. Just the other day, you saw corruption cases against people like Aisha Jumwa, the nominee to one of the cabinet positions. The charges were dropped. And when you look at what is happening, you realize that William Ruto has got the leeway, because he's got the support. I analyzed in one of the videos that he's got the support of the church, the IEBC, the judiciary, most of the hustler nations, and even more so the international community. So William Ruto can do whatever he wants if Kenyans keep quiet and just watch him do whatever he wants. And Raila Amolo Odinga is coming to defend this constitution. He does not want the sweat and the blood that was shed when we were promulgating this new constitution to be there in vain. And he talks about it every day. In fact, you might hear him, because the other day I saw Jimmy Wanjigi also trying to support Raila, that every year after election is a period of growth, that we can look into areas of our constitution that needs to be improved. If you look at the American Constitution, it has been amended. Some people say how many times? 50 times. I stand to be corrected. So Raila believes that we need to protect our Constitution and improve on the areas that we believe are still weak. Raila Amolo Odinga, the Azimio One Kenya Alliance leader, wants to protect his strongholds. He will start by protecting and consolidating the support base in Nyanza. The other day, William Samoei Ruto, our president, went to Homa Bay. You saw Wanga, the governor of Homa Bay, skipped that function, and she gave excuses. Some of the MPs that are coming from within Homa Bay County also skipped that function. And this was just to show that they still have their allegiance to Raila Odinga, because had they attended that rally, which is, to me, is just a good thing to attend. The president was coming there, and the president is a symbol of unity. They would have just attended. But politically speaking, Ruto would have said that now Nyanza residents are tired, and that they have embraced him. So Raila knows very well that you saw people like former Governor Obado, the Ugenya MP David Ochieng, those who lost in the election, those who contested for gubernatorial positions, they all rallied behind Ruto. And Raila knows very well that he should not sleep, otherwise Ruto is going to take over that constituency. So he's there to protect his support base in Nyanza. He does not want anybody to inherit that constituency when he's alive. I also believe that with Miguna, because I realized that the red alert that was placed on Miguna has been scrapped off. The ban has been lifted, and Miguna is soon coming back. Part of the reason why Miguna fell out with the Raila Odinga is that he wanted to inherit Nyanza, the Nyanza support base. And Raila Odinga knows very well that he's now coming back. He might just start. The other day you saw some kind of rebellion within the ODM. And so he is not going to allow this. He wants to come out, and for you to remain in control of your support base, you need to stand firm politically. People need to see you as someone who is still very strong. Remember, age is coming with our is catching up with our enigma in politics, Raila Odinga, but he still needs to go out there and tell people that I am still strong. Politically, I'm still there. Mentally, I'm still strong. So he's there to support. The other support base that strongholds that he wants to consolidate is the coastal area, western area, except for Bungoma. Raila is still in control of western. You realized where the postponed election, the gubernatorial elections in western and in coast, he scooped them and they protected that election with their might. And he pronounced himself that he is still somewhere kingpin in western and in coast. And I think this is the reason, part of the reason why most Kenya Kwanza Alliance team still believe that Musalia Mudavadi does not really deserve a fair share of the national cake because he didn't bring votes. They believe that Wetangula must have worked harder than Musalia Mudavadi. So Raila is there to protect his support base. I also want to believe that Raila Odinga wants to ensure that the politicians who rallied behind him, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, are not sent with him into political oblivion. Because if Raila is annihilated, then Martha Karua and Kalonzo will be finished, and that means that opposition will be finished. They still want to ensure that come 2027, this opposition will be alive, Azimio One Kenya Alliance will be alive, and perhaps by consolidating the support base, he will hand them over wholeheartedly to Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua. Because looking at the Azimio now, those who are active, Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua, and it feels that Raila Odinga might decide that come 2027, they still have the 7 million Kenyans who rallied behind them, and he hands over this to Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua. Maybe last but not least is that Raila is in active politics, maybe to contest himself in 2027. You never know with the politicians, because very many people think that perhaps, very many people believe that he's the only person who can give Ruto a run for his money. Even though this is a question that it is a discussion that can go on and on even for a week. Whether Raila should contest in 2027 or not is something that only he can explain. But I think that we cannot rule it out. He could be coming out in full swing to make sure that he is preparing for 2027. It is unlikely, but you cannot rule it out. We can agree or disagree, ladies and gentlemen. Let us meet in the comment section. Please, you can always tell me what you think. We can always compare notes. Again, if you're watching our videos for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to request you to just subscribe, share our videos if you can, give them a thumbs up, and thank you very much.